Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the European crossover webinar. And we are seeing indices going and push higher. We've actually got the Nasdaq, as you can see here, back above 15,000. Take a look here at the SPOOs. Almost at 4,400. There, 43.97 and a half. And as you can see here, crude finally made that push. Oh, there we go. We sure did. Here's the 2 hour we've been pushing up against. Remember the 72.53. So we finally exactly have pushed this above that level and going further. And with gold, been pushing up here. It stopped against this 1825, but looks like they were going to make a move further. Obviously, coming out of FOMC. It appears the Fed's going to remain just as accommodative as it's always been. So that has really opened the door for us to rebound higher in gold, and that's exactly what we're doing. And we can pull out this real quick, see where we are against so to get a little rebound here with the euro post FOMC. And just going to check for economic data. Now we just got unemployment data that came out of Spain, and to be followed up by German unemployment, which just came off about 5 minutes prior. And the German unemployment was actually down 91,000, and Spanish unemployment. Take a look here. They actually had the percentage rate. That was actually on the CPI. Came actually up 2.9%, and then let's see, at the bottom of the hour, we do get some UK data, mortgage approvals data, and let's see here. Eurozone business and consumer survey and climate and confidence, that will be out at the top of this hour, upcoming hour. German CPI is going to be out in the U.S. session, which would be 8 Eastern. And then, of course, we do have our weekly jobless claims data will be out, as well as GDP data. Pending home sales will be out a little bit further at 10 a.m. Eastern. So let's go on and take a look where we're at. So the euro rebounded post FOMC, closing above 1840. Key resistance in the short term still remains 1875. We know we need to get past this 1875 here. We're actually making a push this morning, but 1875, we get above this, we'll been able to go in and put in a bottom when we start to push higher. Support will be 118. And 1875. And this still, of course, remains bearish overall. Let's take a look here with cable. Still pushing here in cable. So cable extended its recent gains post FOMC, reaching the bias chart resistance yesterday of 38.90 and actually closing just above 139. Resistance for Thursday will be 39.63. We're not too far away from that. You can see where I'm coming right here with that, right with that closing body. It's going to be 39.63. With support at 38.34. Cable's made some pretty good little strides here, but it still remains bearish. You can see right there that resistance, some resistance here, but this is actually the key level, 39.63. Let's go on and take a look where we are with the Aussie dollar. So the Aussie rebounded on FOMC day to close near the high of the day's limited range. Let's see here. Resistance still remains the key weekly level of 74.24. We've gone over this multiple times. There's that 74.27, actually 74.27. With support today going to be at 73.27. So like this one. And we already have this in place, 74.27 on that key weekly level. Moving into the dollar yen. So the dollar yen challenged the 1025 area yesterday. You can see this run up in here. On FOMC day, only to close sub 110. The pressure remains, and the support will now be looking for a move down to 931, with resistance now going to be at 1012. So 931. And on to the cash dollar index. Well, we're still shedding value here. So the dollar index slid post FOMC and is suspect to a fall to 91.75, which will now be support. Resistance will be 92.50. So it looks like overall we're going down to 91.75. And resistance now will be 92.50. This thing does look like it's going to pair back right down here at 91.75. Would be a little bit of a push to get all the way down there today, but not impossible, but certainly looks like we're eventually getting there. That being said, we will go and take a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is in a stall mode and has sputtered on a run at 41,000. You can see this run up here. We're looking at the, actually, I don't know why I have 150 minutes. It should be 120. I don't know how that came about. Resistance will be 41,311, and if you push this, pull this further back, this is this rebound high here. Now, usually I'll put everything going by the bodies, but going forward, this is going to be the key area for resistance. So it's going to be 41,311, and support is going to be right here at 38,000. You can see that right there. There we go, right there, 38,813. Here we go. Any moves up in here, we're just kind of dawdling around here. We really need to get to 41,311 to really push if we're going to go anywhere on this. Let's go and move into the S&Ps. So the S&P futures have found solid resistance at the 4408 area, which is a key level in the profile. Remember, yesterday, this was our bias chart resistance, 4407. This market ran out of gas right at 4408. It might have been 4408 and a half, but that's what ran out of gas. And as we showed yesterday, that was a key area on the profile. Remember, we had our resistance making at 02, and we pushed up higher to reflect that profile, and we had 44.7, and the market went to 44.8 and ran out of gas, and you see where we're at here now. There's the high right there. Actually, it looks like it was right there. 4407 and a half. Look at that resistance, 4407. Just using levels, and in this case, look at the profile. So I put it 4408, but I guess it was 4407, but our profile had it as 4407. But nonetheless, immediate resistance is going to be 4402. And of course, at 4407, we'll put it immediate runs here at 4402. We're supported 4368. And you can see uh, 4368 followed by 4356. Moving on to the Nasdaq. Getting a little bit of a rebound here in the Nasdaq. We're holding above this 15,000. So we can still push higher. Remember yesterday we had 15,037. It came pretty close to that 15,037, but we still came up short. Actually, look, it looks like we pretty much hit it close on the head. Here at 15,040, we can right there. 15,040, we had 15,037. That's still going to be resistance here. And remember, we came up with this using the profile also. We actually had resistance coming in at 15,003 and thought that there was still the potential for this to go and reach up to 37 based on the profile. Here we did go on this. I didn't even see this part where we'd actually made a run here, which is this 15,077. I don't even see how it, right here on this run here. But it's going to be 15,037, followed by 15,077. Let's mark this here. Support right there, 14,000. I don't want to say 950 because it's a little bit too close. If we start to break lower, this is the key on the way down, which is 14,905. Now we could easily, at these levels here, you can easily break on either side. So 14,905. And we'll move into gold. So gold managed to push higher above the post FOMC as the Fed continues to remain accommodative. Resistance for Thursday will be 1829. We supported 1807. You think 1829? Well, that should make things seem appear rather bullish. But here's the reason why I'm coming up with that. Because we've reached, remember how we kept holding at the 1800? Really, the market was open for a break lower. But of course, the Fed's remained accommodative. So now you got a market that could easily push stops. And I just think that gets us up here to 1829. Hence, the 1829 for today. And support is going to be 1807. Still kind of chopping around here, but certainly open the door for them to put a little bit of squeeze on some folks. Let's go and move into crude oil. So crude remains firmly bid, teetering at the 72.53. At the time, this was still sitting on there at 72.53. A break and hold gets the market quickly to the 73.83 area here. We actually had looked at this a couple of days ago. And I think when we extended the range where we've been trading in, I think it came up to 74.07, but we'll stick with the 73.83, which will be resistance. A break and hold gets the market quickly to 73.83, which will be resistance. Support will be 71.90, and this market is just not looking away. And we'll take a look at the Nasdaq. And you can see that, look, we made up to 15,023, and we're kind of paring back a bit here. You can see here that the value area high was 15,032. The high right now is 15,000. Let me go here. It's 15,025, and the value area high was 15,032 from yesterday. Now that's full session. We'll look at RTH. Nothing other than 15,040 here. And let's take a look at the spoos here. Volume level here, yesterday's volume, key level 43.98. And as of this morning, we were up to 44.01. And remember 44.02, wow, didn't even notice right here. 44.02, we just have that as our resistance, but 44.02, that's where we're in out of gas at exactly 44.01 and 3/4. So the 44.02 still holding. Nasdaq, we did make that push up in here. We faded back. We made to 15,023. I guess we could have maybe even pushed a little bit higher. Nothing clear on the profile like it was yesterday. And here, when you look at here, nothing that would say, okay, this is where they were going to run out of gas, but we have seen this market not that much size. That's the thing about with Nasdaq. It's hard to tell sometimes. Unlike S&Ps, when you're looking at, you can clearly see a key area. Although you can see here, this was the key volume was right here. So although we pushed up in here, this is where we ran. The market ended up close on that 15-minute bond. Actually, usually don't go with 15. Usually go with 10. So 25 went off at the top there. So in order for the market, this would have been the key area you'd been looking at. See this volume here? Not a whole lot, but this would you'd be saying, okay, they need to get back, or they need to get back above 15,018. So as the market pushed back here, you're saying, well, if you thought, okay, I'm going to be short, as long as we didn't get above on a 10-minute close on this bar, above 15,017, basically 18, you knew you were okay to stay leaning on the downside here. See the same thing here. And right now, before that, you'd be looking right here at 15,009. So we do have our bias chart in place. We'll go and get that posted. And thanks for joining us here for the European crossover webinar. We'll see you in the room. Oh, let's see. Amir asked for natural gas. Let me take a look here. Take a look here at natural gas. Wow, that's really up in the stars. Hang on. Right now, resistance is going to be right there at 402.5. You see right there? It's actually 402.7. And then support, we're looking at the 2-hour chart. Right there, 385.9. But much closer for them to defend is right there at 393. That's for the nat gas. With resistance at basically 403, it's 402.7. Okay, no problem. You're welcome.